I hope, first off, everything's going well with you.
Well as it could be, but I think we have a lot of things going on at the organization that are impacting our members' lives, and I think those are front and center for me right now.
Well, Brian, just before we begin, if you want to state your name and position with VyStar, go ahead.
Absolutely. Brian Wolfburg, President and CEO of VyStar Credit Union.
Brian, we're getting close to 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Not quite there yet. When can members expect service to return to normal?
Yeah, last night we had mentioned that it would be coming up soon. We were able to bring it up last night at 7 p.m. We've had members signing into the online banking for the past 18 hours or so, 20 hours, and we've had over 50,000 unique visits by our members. When members are able to get in, they are finding it to be an outstanding program that they're really liking.
That's not what we're hearing. We're hearing people are still upset, they still can't get in. You said 50,000, but
Yep.
Is that just in the waiting room?
Nope.
They're in there getting that?
Yep, so the waiting room is a program that's set up on the outside of the online banking to throttle people's access to the program so that the load can be managed. The way that the program was designed, on the initial sign-in, it has to pull information from the core to build a profile, build your accounts, build your balances, and that's a very heavy call between two systems. And so we wanted to make sure, with being down for the amount of days that we had, that we didn't overwhelm the system. And so we've throttled that a little bit, but we have had 50,000 unique members get in, access their accounts, and do the things that they need with their banking. I know that the waiting room on the outside shows a higher number waiting. That number is a little magnified because you see people going in, and then when they get closed out or sign out, they go back in to go out through the same program. So it doubles or more than doubles the number of people that are actually waiting. But we are allowing 200-ish sign-ins every single minute. And we have about 1,000 to 1,500 members in the program at any one time.
What is it normally like? I would have no idea. I just use my ATM and I expect, or online, I just expect it to work. How many do you normally have a minute, or is that way low?
No, it's a little bit lower than we would normally have, and we will start to loosen that up a little bit and let more people sign in. But we wanted to make sure that the program was strong, safe, sound, sturdy, and so we were limiting that for now. It also, with that initial call to build the profiles, that is a very heavy call, and so that's why we're limiting it. We will expand it soon, but it's not that much off of where we would normally have sign-ins.
But when can people expect it to be back to normal?
I would say, we've got a few things that we're working on, right? We've got online banking up with many of the features and functions that you're used to, as well as 50 to 60 brand new features and functions that were never in the old system. So there is added abilities for our members to meet their financial needs every single day when they get in. We do have some stuff around like internal transfers that right now we're continuing to monitor. Those work, but we wanted to validate them before we released them to the membership. So we've got those offline right now. I expect we'll bring those online very shortly.
Well, what do you mean very? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't want to,
Normal back to normal by the end of the week?
Yeah, it would be, I don't want to give exact timelines because I don't want to set expectations and then have us have to do extra testing and things to ensure that we meet our members' expectations. But I would say we are making great progress every single day. Right now, I think we're posting that we expect transfers to be available within the next 24, 48, 72 hours.
Meaning transfers? Meaning
internal transfers between accounts. Yep. And then we expect that the load of our membership, once we get through the backlog of everyone who's been waiting to sign in and those initial calls, we expect that to improve in the next week or so. So I would say by next week, you're going to have a fully functioning online and mobile banking system that meets every one of our members' needs and exceeds what we ever had in the past.
If somebody needed to get online right now, pay a bill, make a transfer, can they do that?
So right now you would be able to get online, view your accounts, view past transactions. You would be able to pay a bill. You would be able to Zelle pay money out. You'd be able to transfer money out to other institutions through our transfer program. The one thing that we do have behind a block is internal transfers. We can handle internal transfers through our Magic Touch program, through our call center, and through our branches. And just to mention, we have expanded both the opening hour and closing hour of both our contact center and our branches to help facilitate that.
And just so people know, internal transfers like from a savings to a checking.
Yes.
So that's where the problem lies, basically, right now.
Well, I would say we don't. We were, as we were getting ready to launch yesterday, we had a few more questions about it, and it was working as we got close to launch. But we hadn't done enough testing on it yet, so we held it back. I would say we believe that the program is working for internal transfers. We're just waiting to release it until we have 100% certainty. Because, we're talking about people's money. We're talking about their financial lives. And this weighs on us very heavily. And we know that we owe it to our members to get it right, especially after being down for so many days. This is not what our members expect from us. Over our past 70 years, as we've met their financial needs and helped them grow their families, this is not what they've come to expect from us. So when we went to go launch yesterday, I wanted to make sure that every aspect of it is working as it should be and meeting our members' needs.
And I know you're getting the calls. We're getting the calls.
Yep.
People are just angry.
Yeah.
And they're leaving. At least they're telling us that. I mean, have you had a lot of customers leave?
I don't have numbers exactly up to date right now on that. We are focused more on making sure that we get our online and mobile banking up, that we meet our members' needs, and that we serve our members. I would say we have heard members who have expressed that they have plans to leave. We have not seen an extensive amount of closures in our branches. That may come. People are going to have to make the choices that they choose to do. But I would ask that people remember the 70 years of history and legacy that we have provided, the service to this community. We have been there for individuals. We've been one of the largest auto lenders, one of the largest mortgage lenders in Northeast Florida. We have served the military in this community. We have committed to nonprofits and cultural organizations. And I think that's what people remember. While they're upset, absolutely, deservedly, this is on me, this is on our team. While they're upset that the online banking rollout didn't go the way it should have, it didn't go the way we planned, the way we hoped, the way I would want it to. But I think we've got a long history of service to this community that people will remember.
And I guess on that, I mean, if people had problems, if things bounced, if bills, late fees, are you going to make good? What's going to happen?
Absolutely.
So how's that going to work?
So, our top interest at all times is doing right, doing good, doing what's right for our members. We always step up and take care of our members. And in this time, while we've worked to provide other means of access, we've also said that we will waive all fees, all issues that arise. Anything that we have caused, we are going to step up and take care of, because that we exist. We are owned by our members. Our sole purpose for being here is for and by our members, and we will continue to do that every day. I
just want to make sure, so waive fees, but if they are also charged a fee by, say, the person that was being billed or something, now, if they get, is that?
I would encourage anyone who has any concerns that occurred over the duration of this outage and or caused by this outage to reach out to us, and we will look through and talk through the situation and do what's right by our members.
And you had started on this too. What happened? I mean, how did it get screwed up?
Yeah. So, we've been working over the past 2 years to design this program. This program was well planned. The architecture was solid. It was tested continually, both by users in the field, technology companies outside stuff. We have done the testing. Now, that said, when the program started to go live, it took on a higher load or computer usage than we had planned, because more people came in at the same time, and we're doing that initial call outs and calls to other core systems and things to gather data. And it started to cause trouble for the program. It started to bring the program down. There was no risk at any point. No one's information was shared. No one's information was breached. Nothing occurred in a cybersecurity sense. But it started to bring down the resources, the computer resources we had put behind it. And we made the decision to take it back down, take it offline, and make this program right before we roll it out.
But didn't Nimbus use this in other places before? And has this ever happened?
Nimbus has been in existence for quite some time. They have a variety of clients across credit unions and banks. Several of the banks are multiples larger than us. They're going live or working on a digital experience with another large financial institution on the West Coast, and they're working on one in the Northeast with individuals. They have done this. The individuals have done it both at Nimbus and at previous institutions, and they were fully vetted by my team. This was just one of those things, and I don't mean to be too flippant about it and say it's one of these things that occurred. We understand the impact that it had. We know it is weighing on every one of my employees. It's weighing on me. I know what impact we're having. We're hearing about it, and we're seeing it. And that said, they built a program that was solid, but we ended up with some things that didn't work out for the execution that we have. Each and every time that you do these, there's different vendors, different third parties that hook into the systems, different ways that the transactions are moved around. And unfortunately, when it went into real world production, it didn't work the way that we had planned.
Have you been in touch with like state officials on this, and then the National Credit Union Association, also other, have you talked to them and saying, hey, we got a problem?
Yeah. I think, first and foremost, as everyone would be, there was a concern for why, right? Why is the online banking down? Once we were able to show that there was no issues with our system, no loss of member information, no loss of member account information, no cybersecurity breach at all, it became that it was a technological challenge for us at the time to get it back up. And we've been in touch with the Florida Office of Financial Regulation, the National Credit Union Administration, the CFPB. We have told them what we have done, what we were building, what we launched, the changes we're currently making to our architecture, and to the date, they've been happy with what they've seen.
But but they're not happy now, I'm sure.
With the progress that we're making to get it back on, yes.
Okay. And people are wondering, I mean, for yourself, when this happened, I mean, you weren't around.
Yep.
Why not come back?
I did. So I've been back in town for several days. I've been working with the team through the night, through the weekend, and into yesterday when we made the launch decision. So I was traveling abroad. I was about 8,000 or 10,000 miles away, and that does take some time to get back here, especially with COVID protocols and things like that. We had planned outage through Sunday evening. On Monday and Tuesday, I was allowing my team, who has years of experience in the industry, to work through it. And when I determined with my board in conversation that it was necessary for me to return, I immediately started that process. I would say that, the comments of being on vacation, while I had left on vacation on Friday, as soon as Monday morning hit, I was not on vacation. I was working remotely on the needs and challenges of the program to meet our members' needs.
And I think that's important to point out. I mean, like you said, when you went, I know you didn't know, and then things fell apart, and then whatever. But, and I guess there's some questions, and some are just wondering about, because they're learning a lot about VyStar and how things work right now. And like the way it invests in this program, maybe in other funds like with FinTech and things like that. How can people be sure? I mean, I'm sure they're questioning now VyStar's role in a lot of things. How can you guarantee that their money is safe?
Yeah, so I think I have no question that their money is safe. As we said, this had nothing to do with any error in our core system, any miscalculations, no cybersecurity attacks, no breaches, nothing like that. It was the presentment of our information through our online banking program. Our team that went to execute on this program has executed on a multitude of other rollouts over the past year. In fact, in this year alone, about 2 months ago, we rolled out some new systems. All of those have happened flawlessly. We have proved over the past 70 years that we are a good place to keep your money. We are a good institution for our members, and we are a good community member. We had a week that was not a good week for us. It was not a good week for the community, and we are going to make it up to them.
And I know I got to wrap it up, but when we use this and this comes on the air, the one thing you want to let people know off the bat on this is any problems that they had, it could be taken care of. They just need to verify everything, and they need to do what now? And you'll be back online hopefully the latest would be when?
Yeah, so we are back online. We have an online banking program that is accessible and usable at this time. Further functions will be added in the next few days, and we'll roll it into our mobile banking, as well as we will have easier access that doesn't have to be throttled in the coming days as more people have their profiles built out and their balances in it. If anyone has any concerns, any questions, reach out to us. We have our contact center, which we have opened early and kept open late. We have our branches, which we've opened early and kept open late. And we have email access to myself, to the board, to every member of our staff, and we are here. My team was here last night for probably coming up on 20 hours the last several days. And we are here early morning and late at night working on this because we know how it's impacting people's lives.
Right, and is there an apology or anything that?
Absolutely. I think I had mentioned it during the conversation, but yeah, this weighs on me. It weighs on my family. It weighs on every one of my senior team members, every one of our employees. And one of the things I've been proud of is how every one of those employees have given of themselves to step up and to make sure that we're working hard to lessen the impact on our community and on our members and to make a difference. But know that everyone at VyStar is immensely apologetic for any inconvenience, disruption we cause, and we know this is on us to make good and to prove in the future that we're the same trusted financial institution that everyone has loved for the past 70 years.
Very good.